Today, we're diving into the world of Rust, one of the most intense and complex multiplayer survival games out there. But instead of just talking about gameplay mechanics or how to survive, we're going to focus on something that might not be as obvious: the community that forms around this game. Rust isn't just about gathering resources or raiding other players' bases. It's about teamwork, trust, competition, and sometimes unexpected friendships. It's about building a community even when the odds are stacked against you. For those of you who might not know, Rust is a multiplayer survival game where players are thrown into a harsh open world, full of danger and uncertainty. The goal is simple: survive. But what makes Rust really interesting is how players work together or against each other to achieve that goal. In Rust, survival is a team effort. You can build bases, raid other players, form alliances, and protect what's yours. But it's not all about competition. You can also find moments where players go out of their way to help each other, even in a game where betrayal is always a risk. And for me, Rust isn't just a game. It's been a place of connection, even during some of the toughest times in my life. I was feeling what has been one of the lowest moments of my life, due to the sudden passing of my grandfather that night. At the time I found out, I was playing Rust with some players I met online. I was in no mood to play, but these people, total strangers, stayed up with me all night. They kept me company, talked to me, and did everything there is to do in-game with me. It was a small thing for them to do, but at that time it was the most important thing for me. While Rust is often seen as harsh and full of betrayal, it's moments like these that show how gaming communities can offer emotional support, just like real-life friends would. So what are some of the key values that Rust teaches us? Let's break it down. First, teamwork. You can't make it in Rust without working together. Whether you're building a base or fending off an attack, cooperation is key. Second, creativity. The way you design your base or come up with strategies can make the difference between life and death. Then there's trust. It's essential in Rust, but also fragile. Players rely on each other to survive, but betrayal can happen at any moment. Next up is survival. At its core, Rust is about surviving in a hostile world, and everything you do is aimed at that goal. Adaptability. The world of Rust is constantly changing, and you have to be ready to adjust your strategies to stay ahead. Finally, support. Whether it's helping a new player learn the ropes or being there for someone going through a tough time, the support in this community can go far beyond the game itself. In Rust, community isn't just about gameplay. It's expressed in many ways. Building bases together, raiding other teams, socializing to form alliances, or even tricking people into trust just to betray them later. Some players even engage in roleplay, creating complex characters and stories within the game. So, to wrap things up, Rust is more than just a game about survival. It's a platform for building relationships, learning the value of trust, and experiencing the highs and lows of teamwork and competition. Whether you're there to conquer or collaborate, the community is what makes it special. Ultimately, Rust is a reflection of how communities work in the real world, a mix of collaboration, competition, support, and sometimes betrayal. And it's through these interactions that we can learn about each other and about ourselves. In just over 2,000 hours of playing this game, this has been my experience.